Hello, this is the New Covenant online Bible study, and we're on the air. Thank you for joining us again today. If you haven't already done so, I hope you'll watch the other videos before this. We have videos that talk about how to invite others to be a part of a Bible study. There's videos on speaking about why the Bible is hard to understand, tips and resources in understanding the Bible. So I encourage you to take a look at those. They may be helpful for you. We're only 2 weeks away from the beginning of our first Bible study. It will be a 4-week study on the birth stories of the Gospels, of the Gospel of Matthew and the Gospel of Luke. Today, what I want to share with you is I want to talk about the background for the Gospel of Matthew. We will be looking at, as I said earlier, we'll be looking at the birth stories of Jesus in two Gospels. We only find them in the Gospel of Matthew and the Gospel of Luke. And today I'll be looking at sharing with you a little background information about the Gospel of Matthew, and next week on the Gospel of Luke. The Gospel of Matthew is, even though its name is Matthew, we do not know for sure whether it was written by Matthew, a disciple of Jesus. Nowhere in the Gospel of Matthew does it say that the author was an eyewitness of who Jesus was. All the Gospels are a little bit different. I remember an occasion that I had when I was in high school. In my senior year of high school, I took a class on journalism and was a part of the school newspaper staff. And one day, our teacher, Mrs. Faircloth, had asked a couple of students to get in a tiff, you might say, an argument in our class in front of all the students. And what we were supposed to do afterwards was we discovered that what we thought was an argument was really a staged event. And what we were supposed to do was to write about what we saw and to share our eyewitness account about the event. We very quickly saw that all of our accounts were very different. Well, such are the Gospels. Even though there are 4 Gospels, they all focus on the same person, and that is Jesus Christ, the Son of God, who lived and who died and who was raised from the dead. But all of them are a little bit different, And Matthew is different as well. There are 5 sections in the Gospel of Matthew which can be distinguished by when Jesus had finished. When you see those words, or similar words, depending on translation, you know you've come to a new section in Matthew. And these 5 sections, of course, parallel the 5 books that make up the first 5 books of the Old Testament, known as the Law of Moses. And most Jews or Israelites would know that. The author of Matthew, whoever he or she is probably a he, used 3 sources to write the gospel. The first source was the Gospel of Mark, which was the first gospel that was written. The second source, biblical scholars call the Q source. And that material Matthew has in common with the Gospel of Luke. And finally, there is the M source, and the M stands for Matthew. There is material in Matthew that is peculiar to Matthew alone. For example, in just a couple of weeks, we'll be looking at the genealogy of Matthew that Matthew shares for Jesus, and it is totally different than the genealogy that we see for Jesus in the Gospel of Luke. Matthew, and another example, Matthew is the only gospel that where we see the word church used, only in the Gospel of Matthew. The aim of the Gospel of Matthew, of the author who wrote it, was to present Jesus as the fulfillment of Old Testament law and prophecy. And because of that, it seems to be a gospel that was especially written for Jews or for former Jews. I look forward to this journey with you. I hope that you have a Bible, that you have some resources, that you're in the process of inviting others to be a part of this New Covenant Church online Bible study. As well, I hope that you're creating a small group of other people so that you can be a part of this experience. This is Pastor Randy Wall with the New Covenant Church Online Bible Study signing off. Next week, I'll be looking at background for the Gospel of Luke. Thank you and God bless.